So what you need, so that way you can make sure you have it nearby before we get started and get settled in. Like a pillow or a blanket, we'll use that towards the end of the class, or at least the second half of the class when we're holding and trying to find some more restorative poses, just trying to think of those props as supporting your body. So they can be from the couch, they can be from your bed, they can be towels, anything that you have nearby. And then we'll do a little bit of movement, nice gentle movement for the first part of class. And then we'll start to come into some more restorative poses. So that way we can just kind of start to settle the body before we go to bed. So whether you're going to go to bed right after this, or you're going to go to bed in a few hours, just kind of getting the body nice and settled. So if you are ready to begin, you can start to find a comfortable seat. So when you come into that comfortable seat, you can always sit up on a blanket or a pillow to help elevate the hips. And for just as we first start to settle in, you're welcome to cross the legs if crisscross is comfortable for you, or you can even just keep the legs extended. And remember that if you start in one place, you don't have to stay there. If as we're pausing here, you want to adjust, you need to adjust, go for it. So maybe when you're first settling in, you can move around a little bit. Maybe roll the shoulders a little bit. Allow your hands to rest on your legs. You can place the palms to the legs, or you can turn the palms up. You can start to close your eyes or just soften through the gaze. And just begin to check in with your body. And softening through the shoulders. Relaxing the jaw. Softening the muscles of the face. Begin to just really feel the breath move in and out of the body. You don't have to make yourself sit up really straight, but see if you can just start to find a little bit of length through the spine. So just think that you're trying to open up the front of the body a bit, creating a little bit more space for your lungs to expand and release. I'm just taking a few more rounds of breath here, settling in. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed. Just start to make some circles with the shoulders and think a little dramatic about it. So what I mean by that is just really exaggerating the movement. Of course, just being mindful of your own body. Just allowing the shoulders to take up as much space as possible, really, as they come up, almost like you're trying to put them on as earrings. And then as you release them down, trying to create as much space as possible between the ears and the shoulders. And then reverse direction, again, really exaggerating that movement. And then keeping the hands on the tops of the legs. And again, your legs can still be out in front of you or they can be crisscross. Just start to round the spine. So think cat pose, feeling like you're hugging the belly button in as you round. And then open the heart, squeeze the shoulder blades together, look forward, coming into that cow movement. If it feels okay on your neck, you can look up. And then around the spine. Curl it all the way in. And open the heart. Few more around the spine, moving with your breath. So you might move faster than my words. You might move slower than my words. Open the heart. Around the spine, press the floor. Hug the belly in. And then open the heart. Last one for good luck. Round the spine. Curl it in. Find as much space as you can through the back body. And then open the heart. Try to find as much space as you can through the front body. And come to a neutral spine. Let your hands come down by your side. If you have a crisscross, go ahead and just switch that cross. If your legs are still out in front of you, maybe just give them a little shake. Make sure they're awake. And as the fingertips come to the side, really feel your spine lengthen. Pretend almost like there's a string at the top of your head, and I'm just gently lifting it up. And start to reach the arms all the way up to the sky. We're going to come right into a twist. So start to rotate towards the right side. So bringing your left hand towards the right leg. So it doesn't have to find its way all the way there. It doesn't have to be on the outside of the leg. But just use that to lengthen the spine. And then as you exhale, feel like you're trying to rotate the spine. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, twist. One more, inhale, lengthen. And exhale, twist. Inhale, reach the arms all the way back up to the sky, untwist, and twist over to the other side. So again, reaching that right hand towards the left leg. As you inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, open the heart. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, twist. One more, inhale to lengthen. And exhale to twist. Inhale, untwist, reach the arms all the way back up to the sky. And then release the arms down. If your legs are crossed, go ahead and extend them out long. And if they've been out long, just give them a little shake. Let's try to take the legs into a little bit of a wider stance here. So trying to find a little bit more space between the knees. And then just point and flex the feet a few times. Maybe even adding a little rotation through the ankles. And going the other way. And then just shake out the feet, shake out the legs. And then start to turn a little bit towards the left leg. You don't have to come into a full rotation like we did a few moments ago, but feel like you're turning towards the left just so you can walk the right hand down the right leg and lean into the right side. So it's a little bit of a rotation through the spine, but it's really trying to focus more on the side body stretch. So you can almost just kind of lean on the right leg as well. You can push the hand into the ground to support you, or you can just kind of let the forearm rest. Or you can place a prop underneath the arm. The left hand can stay down towards the left side. Almost feel as if you're trying to rotate your heart up to the sky. If it feels okay for your neck and your gaze to come along, go for it. Otherwise, you can keep the neck neutral. A couple more breaths here. Then slowly start to bring yourself up. You'll rotate back to center. It might feel a little funky, but we're gonna help that by doing the other side. So again, just a little bit of a rotation towards the right, just so you can start to walk that left hand down the left leg, or just allow that left arm to rest on the left leg. So you're still trying to keep the head and the shoulders and the hips all in the same plane, and then just feeling that movement coming from the spine. Feel as though you're trying to rotate the heart up towards the sky. Couple more rounds of breath. Start to bring yourself all the way up. Untwist. Shake out the legs. And then start to make your way onto your hands and your knees. So if you need anything on the way there, if you want to pause in a seat, or really anything else, start to come to your hands and your knees. And just like we did seated, you're going to move through some cat-cows. So you can round the spine, look forward, and then press the floor away. Again, always moving at your own pace, taking as long as you need to get from one movement to the other. And if you don't like one of the movements, if cat-cow isn't feeling like where your body wants to go here, you can always do anything else, maybe a little side to side. Or kind of just rotating the torso. allowing your body to connect with your breath. And rinse out your day. Come back towards a neutral spine. And then start to press the hips towards your heels for a child's pose. You can always slide some support underneath your torso or even behind the knees or both. If your body is just not comfortable in a child's pose, you can find something else, and that could be a seat, but I want you to focus on almost like this cat movement through the back. So just feeling like you're trying to stretch through the back. So it can even just be like a higher child's pose like this. Just finding a place to pause and breathe. A couple more rounds of breath here. Nice and slow. Start to bring yourself up to your hands and your knees once again. And then extend just your right leg back behind you. You can keep the toes curled under, so almost think like you're going to go into a plank pose, but we're not going into a plank pose. And feel like you're pressing the heel back, so getting a little stretch through the back of the calf and the Achilles area. And then lift the leg up just enough so you can start to bring the foot forward. So it doesn't matter if it doesn't get very far, just start to kind of wiggle it up there. And walk your hands up your leg. And when you arrive into this low lunge, you might feel fine just kind of finding a place to pause and pausing there. Or maybe you rock a little bit in and out of it at first. I know I've been sitting a lot of the day, so my hips feel very tight from being on the computer. So a little bit of rocking actually feels a little better than just allowing my body to fall into it. Really pushing down into your right foot and your left knee. And you can always slide some extra support behind that back leg, especially if you're on a harder surface. And if you're feeling pretty good where you are, maybe the arms start to reach up to the sky. And then maybe, again, maybe staying right there or bringing your right hand to your hip and then leaning into your right side. So reaching up and over with that left hand. It's going to mess with your balance, so be really mindful. You don't have to go far. Feel like you're trying to create extra long space all the way from the left knee to the left hand. Just one more breath, wherever you're at. Bring yourself all the way up. Hands to the ground. Slide your right leg all the way back to meet your left. Let's take the pressure off of the left side right away and extend the left leg back. Keep the toes curled under, maybe press the heel back a bit. And then lift the leg up just enough so you can step your left foot forward. Again, move those props underneath the right side if you haven't already. Squiggle the left foot up. And then walk your hands up the leg. Your sides are probably going to feel pretty different. So you can just kind of let the hips shift forward and pause, or you can rock a little bit. Don't forget to tune in with your breath. If you're feeling okay there, maybe start to reach the arms up to the sky. Know every time you change the arms, it's gonna shift your balance. Really pressing down into the ground. If you want to play a little bit more, you can bring your left hand to your hip and stretch and reach through the right side. Again, it's going to mess with your balance as you add a little rotation. Reconnect with your breath. And slowly start to come all the way up. Bring your hands to the ground. Bring your left leg back to meet your right. Welcome to invite some cat-cows. And then start to lay all the way onto your belly. So you can bring your forehead down when you first get there. If you look at me, I'm just lifted so that way you don't lose my voice. Maybe rock your hips a little bit. Maybe even bend the knees and rock the legs a little bit. And then start to prop yourself up onto your forearms. So coming into that Sphinx pose. So your elbows are about underneath your shoulders. Or the elbows can be a little ahead of the shoulders. And then think an opening through the heart here. So feeling as though you're trying to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Maybe your gaze is all the way forward, or if that is too much on your neck, you can always bring the gaze towards the thumbs, and that helps keep your neck more in the neutral position. Don't forget to breathe, just a couple of breaths here. Then start to lower your upper body all the way down to the ground. And then staying on your belly, just start to slide your right knee out to the right side. So the inside of the leg is going to be on the floor. Your knee is about in line with your hip. I would use that as like your the ceiling, the stopping point. Or maybe you're a little bit lower than your hip. You can leave your whole upper body on the ground. Taking a few rounds of breath here. You don't have to feel a lot. If you'd like something a little different, you can maybe start to straighten through the back of the knee. Again, the knee doesn't have to be all the way straight either. It can just be feeling like you're just kicking the foot out a little bit more. Few more rounds of breath here. Last one. And you'll start to walk the right leg back to meet the left. And when you're ready, come into the second side. So just let the left knee come out to the side. So again, remember that knee is about in line with the hip. Can always be lower. Can always be higher. It's not bad if it does that. With your whole belly is on the floor, you might be really conscious of your inhales and your exhales. If you're finding it hard to focus or even just stay connected to the breath, I encourage you to notice that rise and fall of the belly on the ground. I guess it's almost like a push and a sink. You want to maybe start to straighten through the back of the knee. Again, there's just an option. Couple more rounds of breath here. And then slowly start to walk the left leg back to meet the right. And rock the hips a little bit. And just start to press yourself up towards a tabletop position. That's probably going to be the hardest thing you do in class today. And let's just neutralize the spine a bit. So take a couple of cat-cows. Again, they can be traditional cat-cows. They can be a little bit of a different movement. That's fine. And then you'll start to make your way back to a seated position. So in the same place we started. You want to, again, you can sit up on a blanket or a pillow. And then just like we did at the very beginning, let's find out some rotations through the shoulders. And then reverse direction. And keeping the left leg in, or if it was out, bring the left leg in and extend the right leg long. So bringing the left foot towards the inside of the right leg. And that right leg doesn't have to be wide. It can be pretty much right in front of you, or it can be a little bit wider, or a lot wider. And that foot doesn't have to be all the way tucked in. You can always have it a little bit down, more towards the knee, or you can just even have it wide and not even touching the leg. And feel free to add any props underneath the legs for support. And just start to fold forward. So it doesn't matter where the legs are at. You're not going to fold directly over one leg. You're just going to bring your hands in front of you and just start to walk your hands forward until you don't really want to go any more forward, or until your hips try to start to come with you. And then I want you to back it up a little bit and pause there. I want you to really feel that hinge come from the hips. Finding a comfortable way for your head to soften. Let's start to walk your hands over to the left, so towards the bent knee. Doesn't have to be very far. Just almost think like at the very beginning of class when we were trying to get the side body a little bit, that's kind of same feeling. A little rotation and a little side. Walk your hands back to center. Bring yourself all the way up. Extend your left leg out. And when you're ready, bend the right leg. And again, it doesn't matter how wide it is. It doesn't matter where the foot sits and pauses. And just start to bring your hands in front, and that might be where you stay, or you can start to walk the hands a little bit more forward. The sides will likely feel different. You can stay leaning forward, but just start to walk the hands over to the right. And slowly start to walk your hands back to the center. Peel yourself up. You can bring your hands behind you and lean into your hands as you extend the legs, shake them out. And stay leaning back into the hands. And then just start to place your feet onto the ground, bending into the knees. So think wide with the feet. And just start to windshield wiper your knees from side to side. And the next time the knees are over to the left side, you kind of push into the hands to push yourself up. And let that right leg kind of be in this internal rotation. So think of like when we were on our belly and the knee was out to the side. That's what this leg is doing. And then the left leg is just like it was a few moments ago in that one leg straight, one leg bent feeling. You can stay right here. Or you can start to fold over the left leg. And again, you can always add props underneath you. It's okay if the right hip wants to come up as you lean forward. If there's any pain in the right leg in this internal rotation, there's a few options. So you can try sliding something underneath the leg and think if just lifting it helps. Or you can extend the leg out long. So it's kind of like what we just did, except I want you to really focus that fold over the bent leg. And it's okay if the hips want to lift in this one. Or if your body's not liking either of those options, you can come onto your back and take a figure 4. So just crossing the left ankle over the right knee. Pigeon-esque is what we're going for here. So that is a great option as well. Couple more breaths here. Wherever you are, start to bring yourself up. You had this kind of figure deer shape going on. That's what this was called, with the internally rotated and the external rotation. You're going to come back onto your hands, lean back, and then rock and roll. If you took a figure 4 on your back, you're welcome to stay there and just switch sides. If that second leg was straight, you can come to seated again and then just do the rock and then find what you need on the second side. So when you're ready, you'll let both knees come over to the right. Again, it's okay if your hips lift. And then start to fold over the right leg. Really be as much or as little as you want. You've got all of those same options available to you. You can put something underneath the knee to minimize the rotation. You can extend the leg. Or you can come onto your back. And the sides might need different things. So it's okay if it doesn't exactly match what you did on the first side. Don't forget to connect with your breath. Couple more breaths here. Slowly start to bring yourself up. If you were in a seated position, you can come back towards a seat. The little rock feels good to rinse it out. Go for it. If you're on your back, you can stay there. Any kind of shakes and wiggles you want here. And then start to make your way all the way onto your back. And you can really take whatever you want when you arrive on your back. But maybe you just bring the knees in. If you're not sure, maybe just bring the knees in and find a little rock. Get a little massage on the lower back. You can even bring the knees in some circles. And go the other way. And then place the feet onto the ground. Come into a little bit of that windshield wiper. And then pausing here. Really feel your back release into the ground. Reconnect with your breath. And then you're welcome to stay right there. Or you can extend your legs out in front of you. Keeping your eyes soft or all the way closed. And really just start to feel your whole back body softening into the ground. In the back of your head, to the shoulder blades, to the middle back, and the lower back. To the hips, the back of the hips. As you bring awareness to each of these spaces, see if you can find maybe just like 1% less effort. Could be 0.5%, 0.25%. Feeling the backs of the legs release into the ground. And then just starting to bring some awareness and some softness into the bottoms of the feet, the toes, the ankles, the whole foot or feet, the shins, the calves, the lower half of the legs, backs of the knees, tops of the knees, the backs of the upper legs, tops of the upper legs, your whole right leg, your whole left leg, the hips, the backs of the hips, fronts of the hips, the sides of the hips, the lower back, the lower belly, the middle back, stomach area, the rib cage, the heart, the chest, and softening through the whole torso, to the shoulders, and the upper arms, the lower arms, the wrists, the hands, all 10 fingers, the whole right arm, the whole left arm, your whole body below your neck. Finding a little extra release. Back of the neck, the sides of the neck, throat, the ears, the jaw, the cheeks, the eyes and the space around your eyes. Softening the muscles of your forehead. Softening the whole top part of your body. Bringing your awareness to the crown of the head. And softening just a little bit more through every part of your body. Pausing wherever you are. Using these last few moments of class in complete and total gratitude. for your practice today. Shavasana. Slowly starting to bring some awareness back into the space. Bringing some awareness back into the body. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. Rolling out wrists and ankles. And rocking your head from side to side. In your own way, in your own time, you can roll to one side. And slowly and mindfully and intentionally start to bring yourself up to a seated position, keeping the focus inside. Bringing your hands to your heart center, gently bowing your head. Thank yourself for making it to your mat today, for your practice, your energy, your breath, and most importantly, for yourself. Namaste.